Sul Sul, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, this is Maritello Reads, a channel where I read things from Reddit, funny memes, or really anything that I find funny, intriguing, or shocking, all for your entertainment. Today, we're on Reddit, and we're going to be looking at r/PettyRevenge. This is a short one. We recently launched a project to a select group of beta testers. Late on a Sunday evening, I'm not paid to be on call or work on weekends, I get an email from the boss CCing everyone involved in the project that the entire site is down. Please, can I get it sorted urgently as this makes the company look bad? Complete with screenshots of the problem. I'm really glad for the screenshot. I didn't even need to open my laptop to see what the problem was. I'm mildly peeved at the tone of the email, and I don't think including everyone plus the janitor was really necessary. So I reply all to all, saying that the reason the boss is getting that error is because he typed the wrong website into his browser. Good Lord. I get a sheepish mail from him the next day saying that no, it was actually one of the beta testers that had sent me the message about the website not working and screenshot, and I just forwarded it. And wasn't he glad it wasn't actually a problem? Sure, buddy. Very petty, but I got a kick out of it. I mean, yeah, my thought is, obviously it wasn't a beta tester, it was definitely the manager. He goes in to see, like, himself how it's going, and he puts the wrong website in, and so he freaks out. And then you called him out, which totally, I think when managers make mistakes, they need to be called out, because I've had incidences where like managers made a mistake and called me out, even though they made the mistake. So yeah, I'm happy you called him out and everyone saw. I mean, this is so short but sweet, semi-petty. I love it. It's great. Yeah. The title of this is pretty straightforward, but I'll elaborate. My old college roommate didn't know how to cook or do dishes and didn't go food shopping much. This led to him eating my food, especially my leftovers, as those were prepared meals. I would use my leftovers to meal prep for the week, and I told him to stop as it was expensive as well as inconvenient. The behavior didn't stop, and he actually seemed to be eating more of my food out of spite. To punish him, I baked a chocolate cake with habanero peppers and mixed the frosting with wasabi. I labeled it with my name, and in bold, "Do not eat," and waited. This guy had a very low tolerance for spicy food, so I thought he would take one bite, quickly realize the error of his ways. About 2 days later, him and a couple of his friends got really drunk while I was at work and decided to dig into my food. Somehow they ate a third of it before realizing, and when they inevitably went to throw up from over drinking and eating the spicy foods, got hit by the cake a second time. Don't know for sure, but it couldn't felt good coming out the back end. When he asked me why I made this monstrosity, I told him I found a chocolate habanero recipe online that I wanted to try. He stopped eating my cooking after that. Honestly, yeah. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Someone tells you not to touch their food, and you touch it anyway. You just wait. Something like this is bound to happen. For real. I, 26 female, do not look like I would know a single thing about cars. 5'3" with long blonde hair, soft girly appearance, and an eternal baby face that makes me look about 15 to 16 years old. I drive a rather beat-up looking 2004 Avalon. My dad and brother are both mechanics. Not my profession, but I've learned a thing or seven from them and am very comfortable working on cars. I'm only mentioning my appearance because it's pretty common for mechanics to assume that I'm an idiot about cars. A while back, I was pretty overwhelmed with life and didn't have a good space to do it, so I took my car to get the oil change. The place offered a free of charge head-to-toe inspection for any repairs that might need to be made. I knew my car was fine. I had pretty recently changed the air filter and brake pads. Rotors had maybe 40,000 miles on them and were in great condition. New serpentine belt, too. Literally just didn't feel like changing the oil. Relevant notes: before I went to the shop, I actually checked my air filter and it was, in fact, pristine. Also, I usually call my dad when I'm working on my car so we can chat, so he knows what repairs and maintenance I have done and that my car is well taken care of. After they changed my oil, this guy came back with the inspection results on a clipboard and was holding my air filter. He had this grave look on his face like something was wrong. Mind you, this is a very busy place and there's lots of customers in the waiting room. He told me that we needed to go over the results because my car was about to be completely broken down. Also, not safe to drive if I get several repairs done ASAP, because these were all completely shot. The repairs: new brake pads, new rotors, new calipers, replaced serpentine and drive belt, new air filter, new compressor, or my AC would not work, a heavy threat in the middle of summer in Florida, and a couple more generic things. He showed me my air filter and it was filled with dead grass, a dead wasps, some dirt, and hair. Bruh. He really scooped some BS off the shop floor and put it in my new air filter to try and freak me out. The total? About $1,500 worth of work. It would be more expensive anywhere else, but he was willing to give me a deal. So I immediately start buying myself time by asking basic questions that I knew he would have to explain, so I could just nod all of them wide-eyed while I came up with a good way to respond to what he was doing. What does the serpentine belt do? Is it important? Etc. I texted my dad. I'm calling in a second. Just play along. I told the guy, oh my gosh, that's so scary. I can't believe I was driving around like that. Thank you so much for caring. I don't have the money, so let me call my dad real quick to see if he can help me out. I can't afford this. Then proceeded to enhance my dramatic performance by even working up a tear while I called my dad. Oh my gosh, I love this. This guy is standing there with me in front of all the customers. I put my phone on speaker and gave my dad a whole sob story about how I need money again. I'm so sorry. Can you help me? He asked what the repairs were and how much. I said, I don't know, but it sounds really bad. He says that it's dangerous. Dad, I can't be without a car. What am I going to do? Then I asked the guy to tell my dad what the repairs were. He rattles it all off. My dad is playing it perfectly. Oh, wow. Oh my goodness, I'm glad you caught that so she's not in danger anymore. Little did the scammer know that he was the one in danger. He hands the phone back, and I drop the facade and start laughing really hard. As soon as Dad hears me, he starts cackling in the phone. I said, Dad, do you hear this BS? Get this. He brought me my new air filter that I just put in to show me how dirty it was. He pulled stuff off the floor or something and rubbed it in there. Dad and I continue to crack up. The audience in the waiting room is also cracking up. Scammy McCanny was beet red and completely at a loss for words. Head down and some stuttering was his response. I am so using Scammy McCanny from now on. I love that. I handed him my air filter and told him to go vacuum it out and make sure to let me see it before he puts it back in. I sat and watched him put it back in once it was clean, and I also watched him pull my car out to make sure he didn't do anything horrible while I wasn't looking. I might have taken it a little far, but I really hate it when mechanics take advantage of people who don't know anything about cars. So this feels like a massive win. Big props to my dad for his performance and for teaching me about cars. My dad is also a mechanic, so I know like basics as well. So I am like 100% on board with you, Chica. Probably not to your level, but oh, yeah, I'm using Scammy McCanny from now on. That is beautiful. That was great. Wow. And you know what? Every single person in that waiting room saw you do that. So every one of them is also going to get skeptical on the work that he did on there. So, make them think. My neighbor have a teenage son whose friends keep parking in my driveway. I went to check my mail last week and saw them all out front and decided to nicely bring it up, which was met with eye rolls and fake okay. Monday came around and come home to find 3 of his friends' cars taking all the space that I have to park. It was a 14-hour day for me, so I wasn't having it and made my second approach with intention to make myself very clear and said that I'd make the neighbor's son's problem. Tonight, I get home and it's happened again. I went next door and an adult finally answered. I brought up the cars at my place and added a side note that their kid never expected. He's also been throwing his disposable vapes in my yard, and I have the other neighbor as a witness. So I casually asked him to make sure that he stops, and the instant change in his expression told me everything I needed to know after he walked away. Shortly after, all his friends left, and I can assume they probably won't be back for a while. Happy spring break, kid. Yeah, I mean, don't be disrespectful to neighbors. If they're trying to nicely tell you, hey, don't put your car there, don't do it. Like, that's simple. It's common courtesy. Also, don't vape in front of the house that you're stealing parking spaces from. They're gonna, you shouldn't be vaping anyway. You're 16. But, why dump them in someone else's yard when you know that they're probably gonna have a vendetta on you for the crap that you're pulling? Man. Yeah, tattle. You know what? I know people are like, no one likes a tattletale. Well, I like a tattletale. I love a tattletale. Tattle to me. My kid does something wrong, tattle to me. Your kid does something wrong, I'm dang sure gonna tattle to you. Yeah, tattle. I've been enrolled in cooking school for over a year, and my mom, she's never been supportive because I dropped out of a nursing program to go into a cooking school. She's always making snide comments about how I should have been a nurse or a lawyer, how I'll only be a subservient housewife with this, and when I do make something, she always criticizes it, like she's Gordon Ramsay or something. Oh, too much salt. It's undercooked. It looks like crap. Even though pretty much everyone else says the opposite. She's looking for any little thing that she can critique about my cooking. She keeps telling me that I can't cook and I need to get into a real career. I've cooked 3-course dinners for the family and they always get positive reviews, except for her. She had a party for her work friends. I made a whole tray of my specialty take-on homemade meatballs, a recipe I conceptualized myself, my signature dish. Everyone kept going back and getting more, so many that they ran out. I asked my mom what she thought, and she said they were drunk. They couldn't taste anything. So I figured if I wanted to get her to compliment my cooking, I'd have to trick her. I cooked her a meal, one of her favorites from scratch, her biggest weakness that she can never resist. Dressed it up to look professional and put it in a generic to-go box, and had my boyfriend take video of me preparing it start to finish. I called her and told her that my boyfriend and I were eating at this diner that doesn't exist, made up a fake name for it and everything. I told her they had her favorite meal and asked if she wanted us to bring her one. Of course, she said yes. I brought the dish and told her more about the fake diner, and she started eating it and complimented how good it was, how she wanted to go there and get another one. After she was almost through with the meal, I asked for her honest opinion so we could write a review for Yelp. She went on for 10 minutes about how great it was, and then I sprung it on her. That I cooked it. Her tone changed. She put the fork down. She said she was lying. It tasted like crap. My boyfriend showed her the video. She Googled the restaurant and it didn't show up. She started pointing out flaws with the meal, like how there was too much sauce and it was really spicy and it burned my mouth. I asked her why she almost finished it, the whole thing, if it was so spicy. She didn't say anything, so I just asked if she was ready to admit it. She said no. So we left, but I spotted her eating it from the other room. I asked her again. She laughed and finally told me yes, I'm a good chef. So, after a year of doubting I was a good chef and holding my dreams back, she finally admitted it. Good for you. Good for you. I can't stand parents that do that. I have parents that have told me not to do certain careers that I really wanted to do because I'll never, ever make money off of it. But they never went so far as to critique me like that, so I would never do it. That's ridiculous. But I'm happy she finally admitted it at the end. I'm sure you're a terrific chef. That's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel for more like this. And I will see y'all in the next video. Goodbye!